Hi, survivors. It's me, Preppers in. I don't know what other way to do this. Let's see. There we go. A second. Okay. Yes. I'm in our room today. Hi, everybody. I see you guys are checking in. I'm kind of late today. Always busy. Always working. Always working. I got to pull up some articles about Hurricane Larry because we know this is the latest, the newest storm that's approaching our country. And so I always try to take heed of the warning signs and also inform others in our communities of what's going on, because so many people, I don't want to say they're not taking things seriously. It's just that they have so much going on in their lives and then everything that's going on in the world on top of what we have in our own personal lives. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything. But this storm is very, very serious. It's also going to be very, very dangerous. We see how Ida's affected a lot of people and all these other storms, y'all. It's really, really serious. So let's see if I don't know if you guys have been looking at Weatherman Plus and David Schottenhauer. I haven't had a chance to. I've been so busy, but I'm going to get up on it later on this evening. If y'all would like to check in and tell me who's watching me. So it says that impacts from powerful Hurricane Larry to reach Bermuda and U.S. Canada coast. Even though Larry is forecast to remain well east of the United States. And before I go on, we know that, where are you guys? We know that the East just got struck with Ida, and they haven't even fully recuperated from that. So now, according to the weather services, Hurricane Larry is going to approach some of these same areas. The powerful hurricane is expected to pass close to Bermuda and could make landfall in Atlantic Canada. AccuWeather meteorologists warn, but impacts from Larry will be far-reaching even though the storm may stay hundreds of miles away from the Atlantic beaches from Florida to Maine. Larry appeared as a very healthy and dangerous Category 3 hurricane on Monday, tooting a large eye and maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. The hurricane was moving to the northwest at 10 miles per hour. As of Monday morning, Larry was located 1,015 miles to the southeast of Bermuda. Tropical storm force winds of 39 miles per hour or greater extended outward from the center of the storm by 170 miles, 280 kilometers. The plunger effect of the Russian air on the water was creating large swells that were propagating outward from the center as Larry takes a curved path to the northwest and north this week. Swells will lead the hurricane by several days. I'm not sure if you guys can still see me as I am reading off to you, but it appears to be, and we know with these local meteorologists and all these media outlets, they really don't tell you the full impact of these storms really until they're actually hitting your area. That's when they're telling you what's really going on. We can't really go by and underestimate what they may be reporting because it might be more deadly than that. So I would like to suggest that everybody just start getting prepared. As we know, the previous storms took everybody by surprise. And one of my viewers has had a very important comment. He said, by now we should all be growing gardens. This stuff has been planned since 2008, allegedly. So we should all be way more equipped than what we have been in the previous years. I would like for you guys to check in if you don't mind. Let me know who's watching. Tonight, we're going to also have open conversation, open discussion of whatever you guys would like to talk about in regards to survivalism, because that's what I'm trying to stay focused on, because I think it's imperative that everybody knows and understand what we're up against. And the times that we are living in, they are extremely, extremely severe. And if you're underestimating the powers that be and what they can do, if you haven't seen already, or if you're still in denial, or if you're blind, like so many of us were before, then I hope that this channel and these lives and these updates and these videos that I'm uploading will inform you and change your mind. Save and Sanctify says, greeting. Hi, Save and Sanctify. Thanks for coming again tonight. It's so good to see you here. Bro John said, good evening. Good evening, Bro John. A real winner said, hello from Mississippi. Hello, a real winner. RJ said, don't forget to prep your pets. Absolutely. That is so very important. We can't forget about our furry animal loved ones. Make sure they have enough food, y'all, because I'm telling you, it's hard to find these things in the midst of a disaster, and you don't want to be going out there. Not only is it dangerous with the criminals, but it's dangerous getting out there. The water's contaminated, the city's all nasty. You can't hardly find what you need. You want to already have all these things. So thank you, RJ. Gray Wolf said, these storms are not natural. Absolutely, and I agree. Our weather has been changed drastically over the past 15 to 20 years. I don't ever remember a time when I was a kid when the weather has acted this way. Me neither. And I totally agree with what you're saying. A real winner says, yes, I prep for my fur babies that adopted me. That's so sweet. And I love them so much. My daughter adopted a dog and a cat because she always grew up around, animals, in our household. I just love them. They're our family, they're our family. Gray Wolf said, the weather is part of the overall outcome. Be ready and prepare for what is coming. Absolutely, Gray Wolf. And thank you for commenting. And how are you this evening? A real winner says, hello, everyone. So yes, you guys, these storms are attacking us. It's just been, to me, I have to say allegedly, but we really know how I truly feel about it. It's been attack after attack after attack on all of us, for a very long time, but it became right in our face and so surreal, during this whole pandemic. And so we just have to try to stay 4 or 5 steps ahead of this evil system that is against us and that is amongst us. And we know about, a lot of us are aware of what's going on, but some people, they come to this channel and they think that we're talking out the side of our necks. They think that something is really wrong with us. I'm not trying to convince nobody and persuade anybody, but if you feel in your spirit and in your heart that something's not right, then I suggest you listen to the first mind of yours. Because when you have a gut feeling that something's around you that's not right, and just like you guys commented that it's just not natural, doesn't feel natural, that's your first mind, that's your gut instinct telling you. And it's mostly always right. It's always right. And I'm grateful for them type of instincts, because I'm telling you, it's nothing natural about none of this weather that I've been seeing that's just popping up, just all of a sudden just popping up. And, people are not aware. So y'all, we can't continue, we get caught off guard the first or second time. We're human. We should just, I hate to say it, then that's good for us. Some of us, especially the ones who are aware, when we've had signs and precautions to do things about it, and who started growing vegetables. And you don't really have to have land, and you can get the soil and the seeds, and you can start growing right where you are, y'all. It's imperative, because in a minute, it's not going to be any food. I have to say allegedly, but you guys who are aware, y'all know what's going on. It's not going to be any food. If you guys think you're going to continue to go to your local grocery store or supermarket or the convenience store down the street, and it's going to be food and you'll be able to get the things you need, it's not going to be that. Everything is falling, and it's falling right before our very eyes. So you need to try to get what you can now, and you need to try to maintain it and sustain these things and take very good care of these things. I know with all these storms, one of the viewers commented last night that one of the people who lost everything was a prepper. Unfortunately, they had all their preps right there in the same house with them. And when that storm came and destroyed their house and destroyed all the preps inside of their houses. So, I like to also encourage you, if you can, try to store preps other places. People don't have to know where you're storing your preps. Just try not to have all of your preps at one place. It's hard getting these things, y'all. These days, it is not easy replacing things. The cost of everything is just skyrocket high. And if you think it's about to get back normal, or if you think it's about the price is about to decrease, they're not. There's shortages of everything, shortages of supplies, shortages of workers, shortages of food, shortages of water. It is very, very, very serious out here. If y'all think we're going to keep on having it the way that we've been having it all this time, you're sadly, sadly mistaken. So, Greg Wolf said, I keep a large supply of canned chicken just for the pets. Mix it with some kibbles and they are good. Yeah, that's a really, really great idea. And y'all, we know pet food could already be very costly. So I would suggest you guys try to go and get your fur animals, your fur animal loved ones, the things that they need. Also, like the different, they need a first aid kit too. I know, like my cat a couple of weeks ago stepped on something. And I'm glad that we had peroxide and first aid right there. So we also have to think of them like we would think of ourselves, things that we would need, the medicines that we take, the vitamins that we take, first aid kits that we have right on site with us for, God forbid, things happen, bandages and things of that nature, gauges. Your animals need these things too. And we were able to aid her back to health, you know. Let's see, what are some of the other comments? Oh, hi, Prepping Mama. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining me again. I love seeing you. She says, hello, Zan. I was listening, but was washing dishes. Chicken is $7.99 a pound here now. See, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Chicken used to be the most economically feasible piece of meat that we could actually get. It used to be that way. The Prepper Mama said, hi, Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf says, hello, Mama. Ancient Soul says, hello, Zan. Hi, Ancient Soul. Thanks for coming back here today and joining me. It's so good to see you all. A Real Winner said, it is very serious. Absolutely. I had to give a family member some cases of water because the stores were out everywhere during Hurricane Ida. They only had a few bottles for such a large family. This is what I am saying. You guys, you have families. We have families. We have ourselves. Don't wait. We're already in a disaster. You guys need to think like that every day. You don't need to be waiting for the hurricane to come and the tornado, because they're coming. And if they haven't hit a town near you, just get ready, because it seems like it's a part of their plan and a part of their agenda. Just already try. I know it's easier said than done. And I don't want to offend people, because I was reading some other comments and they were saying like some people are on fixed incomes. They can't afford certain things. But what you can do at your house now, you could boil water and start putting some water up, getting containers, the containers that you already use, and you could find, I used to find stuff like, our trash cans that didn't have holes in it, and I would clean it out real, real good. Y'all know those trash cans that they put the trash in, like the city trash cans, the big, big ones that everybody, like here in Texas, everybody have at least two. We have one for recycling and we have one we dump our trash in. You could use them, or you can also just put the bags on the side of the road. What I did, I cleaned them out really, really good. And you can also call the city and ask for new ones if you don't have yours, or if you need new ones, and you could use those. Just wash them out really good and put water in there. And this doesn't have to be water, and the water will hold up. I know in the green ones, the water held up, and because I tested it. In the black trash bins, the water leaked out because they have like some kind of little steel rod at the bottom of it. It leaked out, but in the green recyclable one, it had the water with it withstood itself. It stayed in that container. And I use that not for like drinking water purposes, for cleaning purposes. Because some of the water, you can use even some of your sink water right now. You can store it and have some containers and fill it up, for when you have to clean and do and flush your toilet. Because the grid goes down, you can't flush the toilet. When sometimes the water goes off. when the towers go down and the grids go down, y'all, and you do not want your house to be nasty. Water is so very important. Our bodies can't even go through past 3 days without water. Our households can't go a long time without water, because everything gets all nasty really, really quick. So it's just important, y'all. Please don't wait for these disasters, these weather-related disasters to strike you, because we're already living in disasters. But don't wait for these weather-related disasters to strike you, and then you find out, oh, my family don't have enough water, my family don't have enough food. It's almost damn near too late then. It really truly is. Great Wolf say, I agree. Those weekly grocery trips are going to be a thing of the past. They are almost already a thing of the past. And right now, what I'm concerned about is the quality of the food. I don't think a lot of this food is really food anymore. And I'm going to say allegedly. Y'all, I'm telling you, all this stuff they put in this food is just awful. And Prep and Mom was talking about $7.99 a pound for some chicken. Y'all, we can buy our own chickens for these prices that they have us paying. A lot of us just gotten lazy. We can buy our own chickens and stuff like that, and raise these chickens and have our own eggs and skin those chickens and go out there and cut those necks off and skin them real good and cut them up and clean them. I'm a country girl. I know all about it. That's how I was raised. So we've just gotten lazy. We just depend on the system for everything. Felly on demand. Hi, says hi, Zen. Tuning in from Houston. Finally caught alive. What's the news with Larry? But that's what we're discussing. We're discussing Larry right now. And I was just doing some updates on Larry. They were pretty much saying that it's going to be hitting the East Coast. It's coming from Bermuda. It is going to be, it says swells were already reaching the northeast facing coastlines of the Caribbean islands and the southeastern facing coastlines of Bermuda, and are forecast to spread westward this week, the AccuWeather senior meteorologist Tyler Rose said. Swells would then spread through the Bahamas during Monday and Tuesday, and then much of the Atlantic Ocean of the United States and Atlantic Canada during the middle of and latter part of this week. So this is supposed to occur this week, you guys. Please go and get what you need. As these swells reach coastal waters, large waves known as breakers will form. With large and strong waves hitting the beaches, water will tend to rush back out to sea in narrow channels called rip currents. These currents can be especially dangerous to bathers that may get caught up in the flow of water. Even though rip currents are always there in average wave conditions, the stronger and more frequent the wave action, the stronger and more frequent the rip currents tend to become. The increased wave action can be enough to lead to overwash and coastal flooding at all-time high. People at the beaches are urged to obey restrictions that authorities have in place. With the number of lifeguards dwindling at most beaches, as you know, is a major shortage of lifeguards. After the Labor Day weekend, the level of danger will increase for bathers with Hurricane Larry at sea. So they're telling us after Labor Day weekend, which is today, that it's going to increase. You guys, please take heed. Please, please take heed. The Prepper Mama say yes, and fill them with water. Yes, fill them with water, y'all. Whatever kind of containers you have at your house that you could clean out and fill with water, fill them up with water now. So, like I was just saying, I had like different departments for my water, right? I had my drinking water. I had the water. But my drinking water, I will also use it to brush my teeth because I don't like sink water. Because the public water system, I just don't like it. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly, it smells like sewage to me a lot of the time. And sometimes it's not all clear. Sometimes it's a little murky, look like it's dirty and stuff like that. So I would have a container for my cleaning. I would have a container for like drinking water, cooking water, water that I would like wash off with or whatever like that. Then I said like my cleaning water, I would use that for just, cleaning up the house, flushing the toilet and things of that nature. So y'all start filling those containers up tonight. When we get off this live, let's start prepping. If you don't have enough non-perishable items in your household, make sure that you do go and get some. If you don't have a gas stove, if your stove is not running off of gas, because we know that gas would withstand storms. When the lights go down, us native Houstonians, fairly on demand. You're one of the native Houstoners. We can attest to these storms that when you have a gas stove, you could still cook on that gas stove. If everything in your house is ran on electric, make sure you have a backup source for cooking. Make sure you have a backup source for heat. These things are very, very important, because if you don't, during these storms and during these disasters, you'll be in a lot of trouble and you won't be able to cook for your family. Y'all, just being able to continue to cook for your family during these storms, that saves you a lot of money. It saves you a lot of time. It saves you a lot of gas. You won't have to go out there and be trying to hunt for grocery stores and hunt for whatever is left and fight with people in lines, because everybody's trying to get gas. Fill your gas tanks up with gas tonight. Now they telling us it's going to be later on this week. That means it's going to hit soon. Because when they predict for it to hit, it always happens before then. I just don't trust these news sources, y'all. They have tell us the truth, and I have to say allegedly on this platform. RJ said, yes, I even clean the milk jugs with bleach and store water for cleaning. I do it all the time. They call me pack rat in my family, because even after I use my Tide containers, my milk containers, whatever containers I have, even the bottled water, after I use one of those bottled waters, I fill it up with water. I put it over. If I use the sink water, I put it over with my cleaning water department. If I fill it up with distilled water, because I love drinking distilled water, I put it in the department of the water that I can drink. Gray Wolf says, stack what you can, learn how to repurpose what you can, and make connections with those of us who are like-minded. There are more of us out here waking up every day. You're absolutely right. I totally encourage that. I tell you to get with like-minded neighbors. Y'all be surprised of how many people right in your community who think like you. But these days, we don't even socialize with our neighbors. I'm not saying all the neighbors you can socialize with, because I say this all the time. Not all of them you can, but some of them you can. And it just will behoove you, if you have a community of like-minded people, y'all can withstand these storms. I've done it plenty of times with my neighbors in the country. We've come together, and just if we wasn't inundated with water and it was just a grid down situation, we stayed in place where we were. Y'all, I'm telling you, these evacuees have stories and stories for days. They had to flee New Orleans and flee Baton Rouge and Lake Charles and come to Houston, because most of them, because they didn't have lights. Some of them didn't even have the water to even come to be inundated in their neighborhood. It's just the tower was down, the neighborhood was dark. But I'm telling y'all, they had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars of their own money, because FEMA didn't kick in right away. And then when FEMA did kick in, it didn't kick in for everybody. And they were still left with a lot of expenses, going to Walmart, stacking up on all that food, then having to buy supplies to cook the food, then having to pay for hotels, then we couldn't get any water at the store because they had to get all the water. And you couldn't fault them for that. They have to take care of themselves and their families as well. So y'all make sure, stack up on what you would need tonight. Make sure your gas tanks are full. Make sure you have plenty of oil, and make sure that you have plenty of water in that car, and make sure that you have plenty of water preps in that car, and make sure that you have non-perishable foods in your car. Make sure you have the tools in your car for if your battery go down. Make sure you have your battery cables. Make sure if you have a spare tire, make sure you have the tools to change your own tire. If you don't know how to change a tire, go on YouTube tonight and find out how to change your tire. Self-reliance is what's going on these days, y'all. And I'm kind of glad about it. I hate that it had to come to this for us to realize that we need to depend on ourselves, because we've been depending on the system to do everything for us. Some of us don't know what in the hell to do behind anything, because we depend on the system for everything. We depend on the system for housing, for food, for lights. We've been feeding the system our money all these years, and they don't respect it. You could give them your money for 50,000 years, it ain't gonna be good enough for them, and they're gonna still do you the way that they're doing us now. And I'm gonna say allegedly, and y'all know how I feel about how they doing us right now. It's just all messed up, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, and it doesn't sit well in my spirit. So many people are listening to these people who have misled us, We have misled our children. They don't teach our children what they need to teach our children in the schools. They don't teach them how to be entrepreneurs in elementary. They teach them how to be slaves to the system and how to be in debt to keep feeding their system so they can continue to be billionaires and millionaires and just trample on the small folks. That's how I feel about it. And I think time is up for that. It's time that we start standing up for ourselves, and start taking care of ourselves the way that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to grow our own fruits and vegetables. We need to raise our own animals, and we need to feed our families healthy foods. And it's so much more affordable when we're doing it ourselves. By the time you finish grocery shopping at the grocery store, being exposed to Lord knows what, because they're putting everything out here, I must say allegedly. And by the time they finish taxing you, you could have been bought. I mean, you could have a whole 2, 3, or 4 months supplies of food for what you buy 1 week in a grocery store. That's how much it costs us. I don't think we realize how much we spend. And that's unnecessary. If we just grow our own fruits and vegetables and we raise our own animals, it can be done. And we can make our own breads and we can make our own soap. My grandmother, she raised us making lye soap. My grandparents never bought soap, doll, and ivory and all this out the grocery store. They made it. My grandparents never did really even have a washing machine. You know what we had to do? We had to wash our own clothes, and we had clotheslines out in the back, and we hung them out. But we're so lazy these days. We want somebody else to do everything for us. And it's sad and it's sickening, y'all. We got to stop doing that. Prepper Mama said, great Wolf, good advice. Really, really good advice. Felly on Demand said, went to HU. Oh, it's a lot of y'all coming. Hold on. Felly on Demand said, hold on. Hi, Bernie. Hi, my good Avril. Hi. You came to my live. So good to see you. Let us know what's going on out there in Washington. Okay, Felony on Demand says, went to HEB today, $9 for a pack of the small drumsticks. We said, forget this. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. We can own our own cows and chickens and raise our own fish for this amount of money they're taking from us, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And then they pump that food up with so much, y'all, just so it can have long shelf life. Why do y'all think a lot of our daughters, their bodies are over matured? It's the food. It's all that stuff they pumping in the food. I know the only store that I know of that sell meat without the stuff being all in it is I know Sprouts. My aunt, she won't buy meat from nowhere else but Sprouts. And if you don't make it, when you buy that meat, if you don't freeze it immediately, it'll go bad because they don't have all that stuff pumped up in it. So when my aunt buy meat from Sprouts, she either gonna cook it right then and there, or she puts it in the freezer. The Prepper Mama said, fell exactly crazy. See, isn't it? Yeah, felly, exactly crazy, isn't it? Yes. The Prepper Mama said, sorry, I'm on my cell trying to get on the laptop. Get on the laptop so you can keep talking to us. Bernie say, hi, Zan. Hi, Bernie. Gray Wolf say, most importantly, other than being prepared is to remember we are all mankind and we stand together and our fall as one. Absolutely. And I think it's imperative that everybody know we need each other. Y'all, we need each other. While we had this thing in Texas where we get up, we speak to everybody. I know in New York you can't do that because y'all know I live in New York as well. You can't go and say, hi, how you doing? They're gonna think something wrong with you. But I love the fact that we were raised to get up and speak to our neighbors and say how you doing and have conversations with people. Sometimes you have to be careful who you're having conversations with these days. But yeah, it's imperative that we stand together and we help one another and we inform one another. And we need to pull together now more than ever. The time is right now. We need to pull together, y'all. It's very serious. Philly on Demand said, yes, at the Prepper Mama, these prices are crazy. Fairly on Demand said, yes, during the snowstorm, the Texas winter storm, we had the fireplace and the gas stove at least. Well, that's good. That's great. At least y'all were able to stay in your house, because I was explaining to the viewers that during the Texas winter storm, the whole grid was down in Texas. The entire state, and it was freezing cold. Most people were not prepared for that, and a lot of people had to sleep in their cars. A lot of people died in their cars from carbon monoxide because they did not know they couldn't be in their garage with the garage doors shut. and they in there with their loved ones with the car running and the heat on at the same time. I saw people at the gas station sleeping in their cars. There were no hotels. All the hotels had been booked because everybody's lights were out, and it was all dark at people's houses. I know I stuck it at my house. I stuck it in my house because I had a lot of the preps that I needed, but it was very, very hard. It was very, very hard. It was like ice on everything. I couldn't even get out of my gate because it was like ice on everything. Um, the prepper mama said, I have a wood burning stove now. A neighbor gave it to us. That was a great gift that your neighbor gave to you. That's why I say it's important for us to speak and talk to our neighbors. We had it installed in April. It was a blessing from above, most definitely. Fairly on Demand said, gas stoves may be slightly more expensive, but if it's within anyone's budget to get one, I say, please do so. Please do so. They have portable butane stoves. I ordered mine off of Amazon. It was like $25, including shipping, and all I had to do was buy it and buy the butane fuel separately. And when I tell you, we used it during the Texas winter storm. And then I have like a little small barbecue pit. It's a portable. They do have portable barbecue pits. You can find them on Mercari. People be selling them. I found mine at a garage sale in Galveston. Right in the beginning of the pandemic, people were losing money. They started selling things out of their houses. They were having estate sales. They were having garage sales. Y'all look in y'all local newspaper for these garage sales and these estate sales. You will be amazed at the type of prepping things that you will find at these places. The prepper mama said, we have all electric, unfortunately. Fairly on Demand says, my family made fun of me for all of the water I have stored in my home office. At first, I was embarrassed to say how many cases I have, but now I don't care. The way these stores are now, I'm glad I'm stocked up. Girl, you are very, very intelligent. I keep a lot of water. Matter of fact, during that Texas winter storm, I had so much water stacked in the back of my vehicle. They froze, but I still had it. The prepper mama said, I have never met anyone that drinks distilled water. My family always makes fun of me. I love distill. I'm convinced it takes bad metals out of my body. Something. I drink it as much as I can. I am a distilled water freak. I drink it and drink it and drink it and drink it. Inbred Dinner Wolves 4th Generation says, it's like electric bills in California. Okay, hold on, y'all. I skipped something. Hold on. If you're able to shop. Okay, Inbred Diner World says, I'm finally debt free as of today. Congratulations, y'all. Let's tell Inbred Dinner Worlds congratulations. Being debt free is amazing. Going to use this upcoming California Steamy on gold and silver. Just got in $100 worth of canned meats and batteries today. You can never have enough of anything. I totally agree with you. We were just talking about Inbred Dinner Wolves that in a minute, the grocery store is going to be non-existent. And I have to say allegedly, but you guys you know how I feel about that. It's going to be non-existent to be able to order Uber Eats and all this types of food. Because y'all, you know what? There's not going to be any food. And there's not going to be any food for a while. With all these severe food shortages and with the weather being the way it is, and with the crops and what's going on with the farmers, you better brace yourselves. And when I say brace yourselves, I mean prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for what lies ahead. Prepare yourselves for what's going on now. You don't want to be caught off guard and you can't feed your family. And you got to go out here and try to get it however you got to get it. Because I'm telling you, people are going to defend themselves and they're going to defend their properties. So it would be best for you to try to get as much as you can while you can. Everybody can't afford to stack it to the rafters, but do what you can. You might need to cut out some things that you may think that you need, but that's not a necessity, and start using that to buy preps and to get preps and start growing your own gardens right in your home. It's possible, y'all. It can be done. Fairly on Demand said, if you're able to shop during the week early morning, this is the best time to go. I totally agree. I always go early in the morning. I didn't get caught onto that, Fairly, into the beginning of the pandemic. I already had a lot of stuff, but of course, you as a prep, you're trying to get more. I was going in early to avoid catching anything because there's so many people that usually be in those grocery stores, and they're usually much cleaner, when you go in there first thing in the morning. And I agree, that is the best time to go. Gray Wolf says, my oldest daughter went through the cold snap down in Texas last year. She remembered what I taught her growing up. Always told her, always expect the worst and you will have you will have won half your battle. It's so very true. And we prep, we prep for, I can't really say I have a brain freeze, but we prep for these things. But y'all, summertime, when these things occur, it's nothing like what you can imagine. I would have never imagined Texas freezing over the way it did this February. I would have never imagined Hurricane Harvey. I would have never imagined Hurricane Ike and Hurricane Katrina and the tornado I was in last year when I saw cows and horses flying around me, houses and mobile homes, and people dying. I would have never imagined that. I've been a prepper for 20 plus years. I had never seen nothing like that. These storms will devastate you. Be careful. Be mentally prepared. Get prepared for them now. Get physically prepared for them now. If you go ahead and start preparing yourselves for it, if you've never been in one, you're going to already be calm when it comes. You're going to already know, I got this, I got that, I need to go here, we need to go there. Have a plan set in place with your family. If you haven't talked to your family by today, please have a meeting with your family. You guys need to talk about and discuss what are the alternatives, what are the other options where you guys can go, and then where you got what you guys can do. If a storm hit your area, if Larry hit or whatever, and your house becomes inundated with water, you have to have a backup plan. You have to have a backup emergency funds. You have to have a plan of where you're going to go. If your car becomes inundated with water and that's your only source of transportation, what are you going to do? Do you have a canoe? Do you have a way of getting out of your neighborhood and getting to an area that's not flooded? You have to think about these things. It's unfortunate, but you really have to think about these things and prepare for these things. Bernie said, hey, Bernie. The prepper mama said, inbred, congrats. Inbred dinner wolves. The prepper mama said, congrats. Ancient soul, I ordered some being inbred in the can, 12 cans on Amazon. That's really great information. Inbred dinner wolves for generation said, it's like electric bills in California, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the week, coast jumps. Now it's noon to 8 p.m., just bleeding us dry any way they can. If you're not self-sufficient, you can't do anything. It's so true. And they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop, y'all, because they've been getting away with this for years. They make so much money off of us, and as soon as you don't pay that bill, what they do, they cut your lights off. Don't y'all get tired of that. I am fed up with this system. I am so over it. That's why I asked you guys, if anybody want to come in with me with community living, I have land. I can't do it by myself. I can't build on my own. I can't get all these things on there like I really want to. Yeah, I can garden, but I really want other people, if you're in Texas and if you're interested in having a safe area to go to doing a SHTF situation, I have good property. Can't just anybody get in this property, y'all. If y'all want to go in with me and we build and we garden together, I'm all for it. Just let me know. Whatever you invest in, I'll put your name on the deed. And it's a property that we could pass down to our families. Y'all, it's just very important that we become self-reliant. I am sacrificing things now so I can get on the property and I can stop feeding this system my money. I'm tired of feeding the system my money. It's just like when we pay rent. You could pay rent for 20, 30 years, you'll never own it. And then one time you can't pay rent, they're going to put you out there. There's no loyalty to the system, y'all. They don't care. They will bleed you dry. Don't you get tired of working and you get your money and you got to throw all your money right to people who don't give a damn about you? Do y'all get tired of that? I know I'm tired of that. They have no incentives. When I say incentives, I'm saying like, oh, if you stay here for a year, you stay here, you pay your bills on time, you pay your rent on time for 6 months, we'll give you a month for free. Or we'll take off such and such for, the remaining duration of your lease term. They never do that. Even with the light bill, the water bill, and the gas bill, there's no incentives, never. They'll just shut your stuff off. I remember during the Texas winter storm, they cut the grid one down, they cut it off. They said they had to reserve their grid. The grid should have already been intact, all the money we've given them. The people that receive trillions of dollars throughout the years from all of us. Why come these towers and these grids are not withstanding these storms? And why come we don't question that? This is why they keep on getting away with every doggone thing. Y'all not tired of that? Y'all not tired that you don't have nothing to pass down to your children because you keep feeding it to other people who don't give a doggone about you or them? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. and not planning on when my grandchildren get here having something that we own as a family. That if my grandchildren just want to go and study all their life and learn things or whatever, just have a family business, they can do that. They don't have to, can't follow their dreams because they got to go work a job that's going to barely pay them and treat them like crap, and they barely making any money. And as soon as they get their money, they got to give it all away to the rent, to rent and lights, water, and gas. We have to do something different, y'all. Even our ancestors back in the day who went through all this hell, they even owned land. They had homesteads. They had chicken, they had cattle. I know my grandparents had gardens. My grandfather had his own business. And it was harder for them back then. They didn't even have the internet. It was very hard. If they could do it, we can do it too. We got to get off this lazy horse. And we need to unite and come together and give each other the information that we need to make it and to withstand these dark days and evil times that we are living in. And if this pandemic didn't wake you up, and if this weather don't wake you up, and if these shortages don't wake you up, you're not gonna never be woke. The time is now, y'all. We past time. Our time is really up. So whatever time you have during the day, you wake up, and when you pray, you have survivalism on your mind. At night when you pray, you have survivalism on your mind. You have your future generations on your mind. What do I have now that I can leave my children? What do I have now that I can leave my grandchildren? What do I have now? What decisions am I making now that I can leave my great-great-grandchildren so they won't have to live on this grid and live on this system? We have to do this, y'all. Our families deserve that. We deserve that. And it's a good investment. When you own your own stuff, if you fall into a hard time, you can lease it out. You can rent it out. You can do what I'm doing. You can get partners to invest with you. You know, real estate, you never go wrong with real estate. I've told y'all so many times, I bought a piece of land in Texas, saved my money for only $2,000 at the time. I didn't have all the money. I went and worked like crazy. And then 2 or 3 months later, that property was worth $25,000 to $35,000. Real estate. So I'm trying to encourage y'all. I'm trying to teach you some things. You guys are teaching me some things. All right, so let's read some more comments. Bernie said, Ancient Soul, I got BM bread, a case of it too. Wow, Bernie, that's great. Did you buy it on Amazon like Ancient Soul did? Ancient Soul says, love it. Bernie says, Ancient Soul, get red feather canned butter and Yoder's canned bacon. That sounds good. Ancient Soul says, okay, I have to go back. Angel Soul says, I am in Palm Springs, California. Light bill is more than some rent. That is crazy. How do y'all do it out there? I mean, I don't know. That's just insane to me. How can you ever have anything? How can you invest into your dreams? I'm pretty sure it's a lot of you out there that can't even invest into your dreams because you got to keep on working this job just to pay the bills. You deserve to be able to do what you love to do and what God called you to do out here without having to feed all your money into the system. Ancient Soul says, oh, Bernie said, do you listen and watch Jeremiah, babe? He is in Palm Springs. Bernie says, also, allegedly, and Sid Silver. Ancient Soul says, but I really like G butter, 50 cents ounces for only $28 on Amazon. Well, Amazon always has some good prices. Gray Wolf says, allegedly. I love that, Zan. You speak the truth. Bless you and yours. Thank you so much, Gray Wolf. Okay, Ancient Soul says, never before. Ancient Soul says, I will. Avril said, in Washington, the schools scanning the high schoolers to track them. No joke, just got a message from school. What do you mean they're scanning them to track them? You're talking about the ones who've had the jab? It's just, and that's another thing, what they're doing to these children. These children don't even want to be in the school no more. They're tired of it. They have to wear the mask. They have to get the jab. You know, a lot of them had to study online. A lot of them was not used to that. My daughter's used to studying online. I raised her in homeschool. But, you know, we have to pray for our country and pray for our families and pray for our children, y'all. This is all so new and so sudden to them. We don't want them to give up. They're our future. You know, a lot of our life depends on them. Ancient Soul says so true. The Purple Mama says so true. Gray Wolf, I agree with Juzan. The food has been tampered with heavily since the mid-90s. Hormone additives added to a lot of animal beef, resulting in abnormally early puberty. Exactly. I see it out here in Texas all the time. Ancient Soul says, I know a lady turned a Home Depot barn into a nice home on her land. Exactly. Now, you guys, these things from Home Depot and all this, it's very expensive now. But guess what? You can make these things. I remember my grandfather, he built his own house. He built our own little tiny house in the back. Y'all, we can make these things. I know the price of lumber is very high, but where there's a will, there's a way. And on Craigslist, you'll be surprised at so many people who are giving away lumber and giving away stuff that you can make things with. Y'all, we thinking it's always ways to think outside the box. If you have a truck or you know somebody with a truck, you will ride around and you'll find things that people just throwing out in New York. I know in New York earlier this year, y'all, it was so many people moving. I was so mad at myself. I didn't have a truck. They were throwing away all kinds of brand new things on the streets that I could have took and made things with, or I could have bartered with, or I could have sold. Man, I'm telling you, all kinds of brand new clothes, all kinds of brand new mattresses, all kinds of brand new furniture. Y'all, don't take for granted anything that you have now. The price of everything is off the roof, from your furniture to dishes to clothes to shoes to socks. And if it's not so unaffordable, then it's a shortage in it. You need to take care of every single thing that you have right now. I'm talking about everything. I'm not even talking about your hair weave, ladies. I'm talking about your jewelry, ladies. I'm talking about your clothes and your shoes. Everything. Everything that you have, you better take care of it. Bernie said, yep. Shantilla Mola said, I really enjoy your videos. Oh, thank you, Shantilla, and thanks for joining my live. Thank you so very much. We are all a family here. We look out for each other. You can suggest things. You can say things that you're on your mind. You can ask questions. Just welcome, and I hope you return to some more of the lives. The Prepper Mama said, I just ordered my B&M bread. It's back in stock after this entire pandemic for $2.88 a can. Thank you so much for telling us, because I haven't seen it. Oh, so sweet. Africa said, no kids not required to get the jab. No kids not required to get the jab. You said they're not required or they are required. I don't know if it's a typo. You said also no options to keep our kids at home. What? They're not giving them any options so they can stay home. Y'all, I know a lot of people who take parents who've taken their children out of homeschool because they just fed up. The Prepper Mama said $2.88 is still a bit more than usual, but not too bad. Definitely check your local stores. Some seem to have replenished. Very, very surprised by this where I am in New York. Yes, I am too. The Prepper Mama says, Agricole, yes, it's terrible. Same here. I had to make a tough choice, and I'm trying to homeschool now. Bloodhound, you can do it, Prepper Mama. You can do it. You can do it. Bloodhound Mama Jane. Hi, Bloodhound Mama Jane. Have knowledge and skills, but joint disease has failed me. I would be happy to relocate to be there with you. Oh, that's so sweet. And I would be happy to assist you in your illnesses. I know what you're going through. I have a mother. She's also disabled. I've had, it's probably nothing compared to what you're going through. And my hearts and prayers are with you. And however I can be of any help to you, you can always let me know. If you had to relocate, then y'all can always email me if you're interested in the community living at prepperzan@gmail.com, prepperzan@gmail.com. I know I've talked to some of you guys about it. Some of you want to stay where you are. You think it's best. Some of you want to relocate. And I always iterate, before you relocate, come and check it out. I've had people come to the property and see the property, and they love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. They love it, and they've started to invest, and we're starting to make decisions on what to do with the properties. But before not just with me, with anybody, go and check the person out, go and check the property out, and see if it's in an area that has some of the things and resources that you may need, like with your condition, Bloodhound Mama Jane. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you see doctors. You want to make sure there's doctors that you can get to. Moving is a lot, and it consists of a lot of planning, but I would help you guys. I would help you if you're talking about relocating. Once you come to Texas, or if you're in Texas, once you see, the area and you say, okay, well, where's the nearest hospital? Where's the nearest store? How are we going to get to here and there? And ask the questions that you need to ask and find out if it's something that is worth moving for. I've moved so many times, y'all, I could tell you all about it. But I will keep you in my prayers, Bloodhound Mama Jane, that you will get better Evercole says not required. Chantilla Mola says, I've been watching you for a while. I used to live in Houston. I'm in Austin now. Oh, I love Austin. And so how are things? I know Austin's pretty expensive. It's more expensive than Houston, but it's a lot more safer. You guys don't have a lot of the crime that we have here in this big city. I love Austin. I love Austin. You know, for South by Southwest, I used to rock out all the time. I'm going to be doing some more shows on 6th Street next March, doing South by Southwest, and hopefully I get to see you there. Philly on Demand says, nope, no options. My son hates school now. Exactly. They're not making it where his children are interested. They're not making it exciting for them. And one thing I know about children, since I've raised my daughter, they're kids. You know, kids are used to being happy and lively, and all this pandemic stuff, it sets bad in their spirit. You know, them having to be out of school all last year and not be around their friends and can't go here. We have to make it exciting again for our children and give them some hope, you know, so they don't fail in education. You know, they don't fail on their dreams and give up. You guys continue to inspire your children and love them and tell them they can be whatever they put their mind to being. It's not too late. And just because we're living in a pandemic era doesn't mean that all hope is gone. Y'all, and continue to pray for your children and encourage your children and teach your children how to prep, for God's sakes, and show them by example. See, mama doing this because of this, and daddy, you see, we got to put up this water, baby, and we got to put this up, baby, and we got to make sure we have non-perishables, baby, because anything could happen. We don't want to put fear in them, but you inform them. You know, we just have to be prepared for the times. You see what's going on out here in Louisiana? These people, they had a bad storm and they had to leave their house. So we have to prepare just in case we have to leave home. We have to prepare just in case the lights get turned off, that we could still eat properly. You talk to your kids. Y'all, you'll be so surprised. I brought my daughter up being a prepper, and she used to make fun of me. Oh, mama, you act like a soldier. But now I see her doing things. She always have a prep bag. She always have non-perishables. She's always watchful wherever she goes. She just don't go anywhere. She just don't talk to and deal with any type of person. You know, she has weapons to defend herself. That's from years of her seeing me. She knows that if she's alone before her family members come, we have things on our door where nobody can just kick our door down, ladies. And so that reminds me of the survivalism class that I have. If y'all interested in taking the survivalism class that I have, I'm going to have it within the next week. You can give me an email at prepperzan@gmail.com and follow me on my Patreon page. I'm going to start uploading videos on that. My Patreon page is Zan Harold, the same as this channel. I don't know if I have a Prepper Zan Patreon, but if you don't find Zan Harold, try Prepper Zan. Follow me on BitChute as well as Prepper Zan. I'm also on Twitter as Prepper Zan, and let's stay in touch with one another. Felly Avricole said, my kid, she doesn't believe everything the teacher says at all. She self-educates herself. She shows me what they teach, but trying to figure something out. Wow, she's intelligent. I know you're teaching her how to prep because she picks up on things. She has a spirit of discernment. She's a special child. So you make sure, because Avril, I know sometimes you don't be calm. You be you be like nerved up, you know. And I do too as preppers with all this stuff going on. Stay calm around that kid. That kid, you have a special kid. We all have special kids, but she's picking up already. She's picking up what's going on in the school. She's knowing what's up. Bloodhound Mama Jane said, I have five 600-gallon water tanks. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. That's great. That's amazing. And you guys, also, if you're in Texas, if you're in Houston, and you guys are in need of the 40-gallon, the 50-gallon water barrels, I do have them. They were all on my website, but we upgraded my website. But you can email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. And if you need some, you can order some from me. They're very inexpensive. I have a lot of them, y'all. I have so many different preps that I could be selling, but I'd be so busy trying to inform everybody. To me, it ain't always about, let me try to sell this or let me try to sell that. I think it's more about us coming together right now and helping one another. But if you're in Houston, if you're in Austin, if you're in the Texas area around Houston and you need, or you could be in Austin as well, I can have them shipped there. It's easy. If you need those 40, 50 gallon barrel to fill some water up in, y'all let me know. I have plenty of them. My email is prepperzan@gmail.com. That's prepperzan@gmail.com. I also have a lot of those water purification tablets, y'all. If y'all want some of those, or if you need some of those, I have a lot of them. Shantilla said, I used to love it here, but no, not so much now that the world's gone crazy. I'd much rather be out of the city altogether. Absolutely. That's why I'm on my way back to the country as well. I'm tired of the city. Y'all, it's so much crime in the city. And the water, I'm going to say, allegedly, is so contaminated. And the people act so ugly. And I'm learning, like, in the city, it's ground zero for all these mandates. Oh, if you don't have this, if you don't have that, you can't go here, you can't go, especially in New York. New York is ground zero for that nonsense foolishness. Oh, if you don't have that thing they want you to get, you can't do this and you can't do that. And I'm like, wow, I thought we were Americans. I thought we could make our own choices and decisions, not somebody having full control over our lives. Avril said, yes, she has fun at home, but her school looks like a sci-fi movie. Though my daughter knows about prep and she good. I know she does with you. The prepping mama said, I am not in explaining. Do not fear. We're going to get through anything. My son came with me yesterday to clearance search. Awesome. Oh, I love hearing these mothers saying they got their kids prepping, they're teaching their kids prepping. I am loving that because they are our future. They are our future, y'all. When we go, we're going to need them to take care of us and to run the world. And if y'all raising them the way that they should go, when they grow old, they will not depart from it. The scriptures taught us that. The scriptures teach us that. Feeling on Demand said, yes, just got my first firearm. There's a weird energy out there. I just can't put my finger on it. Yeah, that's the energy we're talking about now. As a woman who has never felt the need to purchase a firearm, this says a lot. Absolutely. And I'm not a violent person, but I'm ready to defend myself and my family. The prepper mama said, that mega prepper right there, LOL. Can you ship to New York? LOL. I'll find out, the prepper mama. I'll find out. Just tell me some things that you may need. Y'all could email me whatever things that y'all think y'all need and you can't get or find. Y'all let me know because I help so much. And I got it so I could be able to get it to people and stuff like that. I just haven't had time to be trying. Y'all see, I don't never be coming on here selling nothing. Now, I've been talking about my land and stuff like that because I want people to get out the city and get involved in community living with me. But I have a lot of prep and stuff, y'all. I have a lot of stuff. I'll start making it accessible to the public so if you guys need things. Bloodhound Mama Jane said Quonset homes. Quonset homes. Okay, I have to look into that. Ancient Soul says, I moved from Los Angeles to the desert. Absolutely. Inbred Jenna Wolves, fourth generation, said, look up the Bucket List family on YouTube. Family of 5 with a lot of money. Live in Hawaii, travel the world, and homeschool their kids worldwide year-round. Schoolwork based on where they visit. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's what I did with my daughter. I'm telling y'all, they learn more at home. I'm telling you, they be so sharp. My daughter, I just wanted to see where she was academically. So the last 2 years, I put her in a public school. And when I tell you she graduated to top 5 honor society, not only in her school, but in her state. And she was top 2 in her school. They learn so much more at home because they don't have all the distractions. And then we're not feeding them a lot of the crap that the school feeds them. I'm going to say allegedly, because not all schools feed these kids crap. I just don't like the processed foods. I feel like nutrition is very important. And it's not only important for our children, it's important for us. What we put into our bodies, it affects the way we think. It affects our mood swings. It affects the way we behave. A lot of these people out here committing a lot of these crimes because they eat all kinds of garbage. And they're always mad. And their mood swings are bad. And these chemicals in the food, it causes all types of disturbances, y'all. And it's just, we need to take care of ourselves. Along with prepping all these material things and all these foods and all this water and, making sure we got this and we got that and we got land. The most important thing is to take care of your health. You can't have nothing, you can't do nothing without your health. And if you guys are not walking on a daily basis, and if you guys are not working out, when I say working out, I'm not talking about having to go to the gym, y'all. You could do it right in your house, especially after you eat. If you eat and you sit down right after you eat, that's a problem. That's going to cause major problems in your life. Let me tell you, if I can't go out and walk, sometimes I don't want to get out to people. Y'all see me do videos walking all the time. I'll walk an hour and a half a day. And you'll lose some good weight doing that too. I still be eating what I want to eat. I eat healthy most of the time. But if I want like a chocolate chip cookie, I can afford to do that because I walk a lot. You can walk right in your house while you're looking at your favorite show, or while you're talking to your family, talking to your kid, or while you're helping your kid with their homework or whatever. You might not want to do it while you're helping with their homework, but you know what I'm saying. Right in your house, you can do stretches, you can do exercises. YouTube have a lot of tutorials. You could dance. I dance a lot. And if I'm not dancing, I'm gonna go to that gym. If I don't go to that gym, I'm gonna be right in my house. I'll walk in place for an hour in my house if I have to. I'm not telling you to do that. Take baby steps. Do 15 minutes a day, then 20 minutes a day, then 30 minutes. But just don't go through life and not exercise. And try not to eat all those bad foods, y'all. That stuff is bad for your body. It's bad for your mind. It's bad for your teeth. And you need to get prepared just in case you got to run. We are fighting. Y'all got to think like soldiers. Y'all know when these people join the Army and the Marines and the Air Force and all that, they train hard. They have to jog miles. And that's for a reason. I told y'all so many times about the story when it was a tropical storm hit Texas it was about 10 years ago. About 20 years ago, my daughter was a newborn almost. And me and my sister, we was in the house, and my nieces and nephews there. The water came up to here, and we was treading through the water to get out of there. And it was like a couple of miles till we got to dry ground with our children up in our hands like this. One of my nieces were on my back, were on my shoulders. And my nephew was on my sister's shoulders. And then we had the other kids. We was like this hill. And had we not been working out and walking and jogging and all the things that we were doing at the time, we wouldn't have been able to do that. There's no way we would have withstand that. So take care of yourselves. It's very, 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 very important. The Prep Mama said that on the way home, he asked if we could sing. There is power in the name of Jesus. I was shocked. He recorded it all sneaky in the car. He's 10. But in times we have to teach our kids. That is so beautiful. That baby was singing, there's power in the name of Jesus. I commend and applaud you mothers and you fathers as well. You know what? When you train up a child in the way they should go, when they grow old, they will never depart from it. They will never depart from it. And if they do depart from it, they're going to go back to it. My grandparents brought me up in church. And when I got a certain age, I got tired of church. I'm not going to lie. And I don't want to talk about religion, because I've studied all religions. And I'm not going to say what I claim to be as far as religion. But I respect a lot of religions. I've been traveling all around the world. And when I got to be like 17, I was exhausted with church. Monday night was business meetings. Tuesday nights was mission. Wednesday was teachers and prayer meeting. Thursday nights were choir rehearsals. I sang in the choir, so I got my voice. Friday nights we had like kid events. Saturdays we had the fundraisers, the fish fries, the barbecues, and all those types of things. Sunday all day long was church. 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, we had Sunday school. 11 o'clock service, we had our 11 o'clock Sunday service. 2 to 3 o'clock, we had when you get to have to go to other people's churches and because you're invited to, we had like the Sunday programs. And then 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we was back in church for BTU. That's Baptist Training Union, where we learned a lot of the Bible verses. I was exhausted with all of that. But the scriptures built my faith. And I went out and I toured the world with a lot of Grammy Award winning rappers and singers and stuff like that. Then guess what? I got tired of that. And guess what I went back to? I went back to church. And I went back to singing the choir. You know why? Because that's how I was raised. So you guys keep training your kids. I'm not saying I'm a saint, y'all. Y'all be surprised. I have a past in the history too. So I don't want nobody, if anything come up on me on this internet, whatever, they be, oh, I thought this girl was, no. I'm a human being just like everybody else, and we don't put me on that pedestal, please. And I'm not no pastor. Please don't do that. I'm just saying, when you train your child a certain way, they're gonna continue to do those things when they're older. The Purple Mama says, Angel Soul says Los Angeles is crazy right now. I know it is. A lot of these major cities have lost their minds. The crime is terrible. Y'all, it's gonna get worse. Y'all need to know these things are not gonna get better anytime soon. It's gonna get worse. So what are y'all planning on doing? You gonna get out the city? I know it's not easy, but where there's a will, there's a way. Because I'm telling y'all, we're not going to want to have our families around this mess, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to go down. And a lot of these people are not going to be prepared. A lot of these people are not going. It's already bad. Y'all, downtown Houston, it's a mess. I don't know if the people that's on here in Houston, if y'all, have y'all been downtown lately? Y'all, when I tell y'all, it is nothing but criminals. And they begging you for everything. And they get mad when you don't give them nothing. I had one ask me for $1. Usually, if I have $1, I'll give it to him. That's no big deal to me, I'm the type of person you can ask me if I have it, I'll give it to you. It's material things don't mean nothing to me, because I was without a lot of life and homeless sometimes. I know how it is not to have. But if you say no, and if you don't get, they gonna get mad. They try to fight you. A couple of the evacuees the other day told me and my daughter they was gonna rob us for our food. I'm glad they didn't make no decision like that, because somebody was gonna get hurt. I mean that. I defend me and mine. They said, oh, we need to rob them of their food. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, people are hungry right now. They hurting right now. They are without work. Y'all need to watch your back. It's really, really bad in these cities. Y'all protect yourselves and be very careful. The Purple Mama said, oh, yes, Ann, that is just wonderful. Hold on. That is just wonderful. You did so great raising her. Thank you so very much. Gray Wolf says, homeschool is a great alternative. School now is not what it was when we attended. Absolutely right. Ancient Soul said, my son went to Marcus Garvey. He is 30 now. Wow. That's excellent. Wow, that's great, Ancient Soul. Bloodhound Mama Jane said, I was conceived in Texas. It might be a good idea to go back. What I love about Texas is that they're not strict with all these mandates that everybody else are requiring people to do. It's not down your throat. They're not telling you you can't go to a restaurant and you can't. They know not to do this to us Texans. You know why? Because the Texans don't play no games. We be at them politicians' door. I'm not saying in a violent way. I'm gonna say allegedly. When I don't mean literally at that door. I mean we write letters. We go down there to Austin to the state capitol. Oh, we don't play it out here. And a lot of our politicians, they're not with these mandates. They might recommend certain things, but they're not gonna say, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, or you can't work." Matter of fact, Governor Abbott, he passed a policy where there's no dun passport. That's out in the state of Texas. It's out that these businesses can't require you to have it or you can't work, you know. Well, I think some places are, but for the most part, our governor is not with all those mandates. Our senators are not neither. And they go down there in Washington and they talk about it. And they meet up with Congress with it. I know that Ted Cruz, he's really adamant about that. They're not playing no games with it. Greg Wolf says, Ann, it's great you have land willing to share with people and are inspiring to build a community. Land here in Illinois is way overpriced. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the land has become, y'all, in Texas, it's still kind of affordable. I'm not gonna lie. You got people in Texas where you could put